Hi guys, it's Edwin here. Welcome back to the channel. Previous video we installed the INAV 8.0 firmware onto the flight controller. In this video, we're going to set up INAV on the aircraft, and then we're going to do its maiden flight. So the first things we're going to do is to select the actual kind of size of propeller we're going to be using. In this case, we're using a 7-inch quad. So I'm just going to select 7-inch propellers, and it's going to save, pick up the settings, and it's going to save that. It's going to start up, which is new. This is great in INAV 8.0. It's going to help us with the wizard to be able to set up most of the essential things. So our receiver, our C2 link is going to be on UART2. Yours, you just have to know where you put in your C2 link. If it's going to, if you're using Express LRS, Crossfire, or Free Sky, whatever protocol, receiver protocol you're going to be using. So you connect it on the at that particular UART. In my case, it's UART2, and my protocol is Crossfire. So because I'm using Express LRS on an R9 module, I'm going to set Crossfire, and I'm going to do next. My GPS port is on UART1, so I'll set that up there. And then my baud rate for this particular GPS is 38400. In INAV 8, there's been able to be a measure between U blocks and U block 7, so I'll just select U blocks. I'm using the M8Q3885L GPS module from Maytech, and the baud rate that I was able to discover is 400. Sometimes it might go up to 115,000, but I prefer to use 400 because that works very well for me. And I click next. It's going to save those. Now, once that reboots, we will now start the actual process and go through the all the tabs one after the other. Sometimes this waiting for data can take quite a while. So what I normally would do is I would restart, I would disconnect, and then I will just connect again, and that should fix that. So the first thing we're going to do is calibrate our GPS and compasses and accelerometer. As you can see here in the preamp check, we have a few errors. Compass is not calibrated. We have runtime calibration that we need to do, and a few other things. So right here, what you want to do is come to calibration, and then want to calibrate the accelerometer. So you want to keep your aircraft as level as possible, and select that. It says place flight controller in position showed in the image, then press calibrate button again. So we'll do that for 6 steps. So we do that, and then we press calibrate accelerometer. It's going to calibrate, and it's going to be level. Next step I want to do is put it on its belly. So we're going to turn it up, take it upside down, and we're going to click on calibrate. And that happened. This for some reason, I don't know if this is a bug, but when I do this, this goes off. But by the time I do all of it, I have to come back and do step 1 again. But that's fine. So I'm going to put it on the right hand side and click on calibrate. And then I'm going to do nose up, calibrate. All right, and I'm going to do left hand side and calibrate. This is just telling the flight controller, where it's up, where it's down, and all of that. And I'm going to do calibrate here for the nose down. Okay, and then I'm going to now put it back on the level as it was to do the first step again. So I'm just going to do calibrate. So we see calibration is finished. Check the values have been saved. So the values is there. What we need to now do is do save and reboot. Okay, now that is fixing that. It's rebooting, and then our accelerometer is calibrated. Next step we want to do, if you see here, we have our compass is all 0, 0, and funny figures. So what we want to do is click on calibrate, and in this case we're just going to move the aircraft in all its axes. At least one axis should face down at each one point in time. So just randomly moving the craft to show all the different sides of it. Yeah, it's normally a few seconds, so we should be good soon. And then bottom, and then down, and up, and right, and left, and all of that. So their calibration should be successful. And then level that there, and you see it's picked up our XYZ gains, axes, and all of that. So what I'm going to do is just click on save and reboot. Then that does that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is our mixer. So we want to come to our mixer, and in the mixer, we have motor 1, 2, 3, and 4, but we just want to make sure that this is what it was, what it is. So my platform is multi-rotor, and these are fine. I want my motors to spin inbound, which is what it is. I'm just going to do load and apply, and then I'm going to do save and reboot. So I like to do save and reboot at each step because it and I get comfortable that it has actually saved. So we have throttle values, roll, pitch, and yaw values, and we have motor 1, 2, 3, and 4, and all of these are fine. So let's go to outputs. In our output, I want to enable my motor and servo output, and my system is actually this short 300. My motor idle, I like it to be on 5 or maybe 6. It all depends on how fast you want them to spin when they're idle. Click on save and reboot. Okay, and wait for it to save and reboot. Okay, so now we're done with that, and the message has gone off. We're going to go back to our ports now, and then in our ports, remember we set our GPS to 1 and our serial X to 2. I know my serial 3 is TBS Smart Audio. I don't have anything on UART 4. UART 6 is ESC telemetry, so I'm just going to put that there, and I'm going to save and reboot. Okay, so it's just taking a little while. Now it's done that. So we'll go to configuration. In our configuration, this is where we just make sure that all the sensors are in order. In this case, I have my accelerometer at NPU 6000. Magnetometer is QMC5883. The barometer is the SPL06. Victor tube is on virtual. My I2C speed is 400, but I'll just leave this as default. GPS navigation and telemetry output. So I'm just going to leave most of these options as they are. I shall come back to the battery settings. My batteries, I'll just leave this as auto maximum cell. So we'll just leave most of these ones as they are, and then we'll sort out the battery in other settings. So the next thing I want to do here is come to my failsafe, and in my failsafe, I want to do return to home. So for instance, if I lose signal, I want this aircraft to return to launch or return back to work. I'll look at hit save and reboot. Okay. We're going to skip tuning tabs for now, and programming tabs for now. I'm going to go to receiver. So in my receiver, I set it to serial type and crossfire. And if I move my sticks, I should actually be able to see movement. So I have my roll, pitch, and I have my yaw and my throttle, and I've got my channels, my sticks, switches are all moving. All my switches are moving. All my switches are moving, so that's fine. So once that is done, we don't need to come here. We don't need to go to modes. Let's set up our modes. So in my modes, what I like to do is have a preamp. So in my preamp, I'm going to have channel 12 is my preamp but switch. So I'm going to push that to the end there. I'm just going to have that there. So when I do that, I have a preamp, and then my arming button, my arming switch is going to be on channel 5. So once it's armed, I'm gonna have that there. So I will need the prearm, and then I will need the arm once that is ready. Now my flight modes are going to be
navigation position hold, horizon mode, angle mode.
made a mistake there. So my flight modes are going to be on channel 7. So my angle mode,
Angle mode.
um, this is
horizon mode,
this is
angle
my
mode.
angle mode. So my angle mode is going to be the first one lower, the lowest thing. load
Horizon
value,
mode.
and then my horizon mode is going to be
Angle mode. Horizon mode.
on the same channel but on a different setting value, and then obviously my
Acro
my
mode
acro
on.
mode, and after which I'm going to have my position hold, which is going to be my channel 11.
Navigation position hold.
And I'm going to put that there, just slide this so it's not too much, and then we can have that there. And then I'm going to set
Return
my
to home.
return to home, which is on this one, same channel
Return to
but
home.
channel 11 as well. So my return to home, I'm putting it on there like that. And then
Navigation
my
waypoint.
navigation waypoint, I'm just going to have to put that there. It's channel
Navigation
8,
waypoint.
and I'll slide that there, just put it there like that. I think those are all things for my mode. Okay, except I want to do my OSD. So I want to do my
OSD
OSD.
profile.
So
OSD
when it's
profile.
OSD is off, it's going to be on this one, and when it's
OSD
going to
profile.
be Alt 1,
OSD profile.
I want that to be there, and then the final one would be OSD Alt 2, which will set up in the OSD panel. So that's all the modes I want to have for now. I'm just going to do a click a save to save my modes. Okay, so that's saved. Um, let's go to adjustments. Nothing to do here for now. GPS, everything looks fine. Okay, ground assist. I'm just going to leave everything as it is. Sometimes you might want to select the particular kind of satellite you wanted to lock onto, maybe Galileo or Beidou, or the Russian satellites. But I leave this as it is, because I want the aircraft to be able to choose its default setting from the manufacturer. So that's fine. I'm going to go into alignment tool, and in my alignment tool, we had set up compass and all of that. So um, that's how it is positioned. But in my case, um, it's a it's a clockwise 270 degrees flip for that. But let me just see here. I'm using a Maytech M8Q model. It's supposed to be 5883, but I think they probably made a mistake here. It's 5833. It's supposed to be 5883. And then just gonna check here. Now this is actually wrong because on my quad the arrow, this arrow right there is facing this way. So I'm gonna swap this to 90 degrees flip so that it aligns properly. So my north will be my north, and my south will be my south. So having done that, I'm gonna save and reboot, and we will be good to go. Now, one of the things I like to do is to ensure that my compass is in the right heading. So I would normally just get the compass from my phone and position it with where the quad is, and my compass is reading 201 degrees south. If I go here, you will see that I have a heading of about 199 degrees south. So let's just come back to the status where we can see. Uh, not sure why this freezes, but it's not a problem. All I just do is disconnect and connect again. So you see I have 199 degrees on my compass. On my phone, I have my compass, it's sitting on the quad. It's 201 degrees south. So I have 199 degrees, quite pretty close actually. So I think that's good. Let's go back to the alignment tool. So which means that our compass is fine. South 180, west 270, and all of that. So it gives us a 200 degrees. So that's fine for that. Um, for that. Yeah, so we set all of that value. Um, we don't have anything to do with mission control yet, and this is where we need the GPS lock, and we can do we can actually set up our flight waypoints, autonomous flights. So let's go to the OSD. Wait for it to load. It might just takes a little while. So INAV 8.0 says, I know that there says they've done some little changes to some of the OSD parameters. So let's just come here and look at. So we have, first of all, the video format is auto. You can set up your pilot's name here, use pilot logo and all of that. My metric system is, my unit is metric. You can do metric of MPH. I'll just leave it as metric. I like the default crosshairs. LQ, I'll leave it at type 1. And all these settings should be fine. I'm just looking at the right hand side. I don't have that. Custom OSD elements. We'll look into this at a later video. But for now, let's just see. I want 14 I want my satellite count to be not here, but I want it to be up here. And then I want my altimeter to be here. That's my altitude. My voltage is fine where it is, or maybe I should put the throttle on this side, and then my voltage should be here, total voltage, and then the amperage. Maybe we'll have to have a battery cell voltage somewhere, so I'll put the battery cell voltage just under that one there. So I have my battery cell voltage and then the total voltage. And then I want to also have my GPS heading. So I want to have either a heading graph, probably right there in the center, and then a heading would be there. That is fine. And then I want to have my no, not airspeed, but I want to have my GPS speed. So my GPS, we should find crosshairs. I want the crosshairs. I want artificial horizon. Um, MH drone. I want that. Power, battery remaining capacity. Maybe we can put that there. Just add it to what more we've got there. Then our GPS. I want GPS not the maximum speed, or GPS. Maybe let's do a 3D speed. So 3D speed, I want it here, and then the altitude would be there, or we should ground speed. Let's do 3D speed. Then I want my plus code to give us longitude and latitude. So this I want will be right there. Home heading error down. You also need direction to home, is quite important. I have my direction to home, so I'm gonna put that somewhere there. And then this, let's bring this back. Well, let's put this code there. Oh no, let's put it up here so it doesn't interfere with the fly modes, right? We need to do distance to home. So distance to home, let's put that there, and probably have this guy right underneath it to show what the direction is. I think that will be all for that. My VTX and band VTX and channel. Let's have that somewhere there. Okay, and then I like to have RSSI. We already have that there. RSSI is there. Maybe link quality. But now let's just see. I think for now let's leave this as this. We can always tweak this later, and then we do save. Okay. Now I just want to check what is analog font manager. So I'm just going to come here. Okay, it tells us the different kinds of fonts we can upload. So clarity medium or just clarity, or so we can choose any of these ones. Let's see clarity, what it looks like, or let's click on upload. It's going to upload the clarity fonts. and just make the font a little bit more legible, so big bigger. Um, I think that we're almost done. It's gonna read the flight controller now, and then we'll just connect back into INAV, and let's go to our OSD tab again and see how it reads. So everything is quite enlarged right now. Just move this a little bit away from there so it doesn't interfere with the actual horizon, artificial horizon. So I've got my battery voltage, my cell count, my total amperage used. This is going to be my maximum um, capacity drawn. And then this is battery capacity remaining. Then my VTX band channel. This is my plus code altitudes. And then maybe I should just move this a little bit to the left, sorry, to the right. And then we can have that there. And then my flight time. Error messages will come up here, and I'm fine with this. So let's just save that. If we did have LED strips, this is where we're going to set up our LED strips. We don't have that now. We'll see our sensors. You can check to have, if you have different sensors, you can actually see that we have barometer and all the other sensors moving. If we have sonar, we would have checked that there to actually show us the sonar. But we don't have a sonar. We do have airspeed. It's a virtual airspeed right there. It's not moving. There's no pitot tube there, but you know it will calculate it based on the GPS readings. We also have temperature sensor for different aspects. And then we also have a debug tool we can use to debug certain things. Tethered login. We'll just leave this for now as it is. In the black box, we would say onboard SD card slot, which is what I have. I have an onboard SD card slot, and it's going to be recording or logging most of these options. So I have 3.7 gig free. Um, Unavailable space is 3.5. So I have this free, and the card is ready. So that is good to go. So in my CLI, I can come in here and I can do a version to show me the Metec version, INAV and my flight controller. So INAV 8.0 on the Metec F722SE January 21, 2025. That was the build. I can also come here and do underscore info to check my SD card info. Oops, this one's SD underscore info to check my SD card info. You can also just type help to see most of the uh, options available to you. So I'm gonna end the video here. In the next video, we're gonna go out, set up everything for the for the aircraft. We're gonna take it out. We're gonna do our maiden flight, and then after that, we come back and we do some programming. um Hope everything goes up well. Then after the programming, we can now come and do a few the can start talking about the tuning and of the aircraft. So let me just log off here, and then I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.